Welcome to Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, or as those in World of Warcraft call me, Frasley Sparkspan. This week is going differently than I originally planned. We have an exciting interview this week. I told a few people what this week was going to be about, but that topic has been moved to next week. I have an interview this week with a friend, Jim York. Jim had a calling to get a Firetruck down to Belize to the island of Caye Caulker, and he never gave up on his calling. So, Jim, thank you for joining us tonight.
Glad to be here, Jonathan. It's been an interesting experience.
And before we begin, I know a lot about you, the published author, the head of the Pizza Patrol, and loving father. However, the audience may not know who you are. Can you give us a small look into who Jim York is?
Now, that's a good question. Come on, you don't tell the whole story of my life. My gosh, you won't be here all night. Well, that's a good question, Jonathan, who I am. I just try to think of myself. I'm a guy that's been blessed with the ability to think outside the box. It's a term that you hear a lot, but you don't really see it in application very much.
Absolutely.
That's kind of how this all come about, in a nutshell.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Because the one thing I can say about you, you are not a boring guy. I mean, just the stories.
Well, thank you.
I always love talking with you because it's like I hear things and I hear new stories. And again, who would have expected you to do what we're going to cover tonight? Getting a fire truck to Belize.
I've never been accused of being typical, I will say that.
That's for sure. You always have great stories. Can you share one of your favorites?
Besides the fire truck thing, this outdid even me. A long time ago, I used to drive big trucks, and I noticed how things were done in the industry as far as there was hours of service regulations, how they were grossly violated. Somewhere along the line, I think it was 1993, a lady's son was killed with himself and three of his friends on the main turnpike by a Walmart driver that fell asleep at the wheel. She started an organization called Parents Against Tired Truckers, kind of the equivalent of a Mothers Against Drunk Drivers. Driving fatigue and driving drunk, there's the hours awake versus blood alcohol. There's scientific studies on how that is comparable. I had written some letters to the Federal Highway Administration about realities of the way things were really done. They're doing a study on revamping those hours of service. It took them 20 years to do. And in the meantime, I heard about this lady. I gave her a call. I was still driving trucks at the time. I figured she'd rip my head off. I said, "Yes, Miss Iser, I understand about your organization." I said, I am a truck driver myself. I says, I'm not making any excuses for any bad behavior, but there's some things, the way the industry operates. I figured she'd bite my head off. She said, she's really glad to hear from me. And next thing I know, I kept in touch with her. They had a symposium in San Diego. I was invited to be one of the speakers there. This was 1999. So I found myself, among other people, doctors, lawyers, people from the Department of Transportation, law enforcement agencies, and the NTSB. I'm sitting there having dinner with the secretary of the NTSB shooting the bull about truck safety. That's probably one of my more elaborate things besides the fire truck. That, and I wrote the book there that you know about. So this is kind of my third claim to fame, only I didn't start out that way. If I had known about this, it scared me half to death. This kind of stumbled in this. I didn't plan it all my life. It just kind of happened.
Wow. That shows just how you have a way of networking with people. You went to Caye Caulker and you got in touch with the head of the firefighters there. I mean, that's the incredible thing.
I'll tell you how that happened. I was blessed to have a son that worked for airline. He got me free airfare. I would call it a return on my investment. We went there in September of 2012. I liked the place so much, I went back by myself in January of 2013. And I'd gone to the neighboring island, Ambergris Caye there. I was walking back to my hotel, and I seen the fire trucks out there, if that's what you would call them. This thing looks like a plumber's truck, and the thing looks like a pickup truck with some hose on and a pump. Just basically some stuff that the British had left behind. And I'd never seen anything like that. They're totally inefficient. I mean, my buddy there that I met, Miguel Mathis, the head firefighter, he was really dedicated and everything. And just the equipment that they had to work with was just not much. I remember him telling me it takes me 3 or 4 minutes to get enough air pressure on this truck when we get a run before we can leave the station. Fire doubles in size every 3 minutes. I thought, gee whiz, the fire doubled in size just from the time that you heard about it to the time you were able to start rolling.
Wow.
We kind of become friends. We stayed in touch. One day he sends me a thing. He asked me if I could get this model truck that was on eBay, bring it down there next time as a model of a Seagrave fire truck, the first fire truck that Belize Fire Service ever had. I just off the top of my head, I said, you know what? I said, I'd like to get you a real one. I still remember exactly, buddy, that's my dream. I'm like, let me see what I can do. That's kind of where it started. I didn't have a clue. I didn't have the faintest idea what I was doing. I mean, a few months before that, he'd posted some pictures where the U.S. Southern Command had sent him for some fire training at the U.S. Air Base in Honduras with, I think, some people from other countries there. I remembered that. That's kind of in the back of my mind. I thought, well, maybe they could help out then. I sent a message to the U.S. Embassy. I get all these Belize Facebook groups. U.S. Embassy. I says, the government gets rid of surplus equipment. I says, any chance maybe you guys could get something down there? I thought maybe I'd just get some people hooked up in the beginning. Never heard a word from them. Sent an email to my congressperson. Never heard nothing of them. So I found this U.S. Southern Command. I sent them. I said, look, I saw we sent him for some training and got some kind of equipment. I said, you guys have anything? I said, well, not really. So we got an exercise going on there next summer. He says, Beyond the Horizons. And he says, I'll take this into consideration. I just asked this guy, I says, in the meantime, just out of curiosity, if I'd happen to find something, is there any way you guys could get it down there? Just off the top of my head. He says, yeah, there's this thing called the Denton Program. It'll fly humanitarian aid down there. I says, okay, that's interesting. I think I Googled the Denton Program or something. I found this organization in Wisconsin, Nicaragua Partners of the Americas. Originally got a hold of Captain Eric Johnson with the Green Bay Fire Department, and he referred me to Brad Martin, who he said was the guy pretty much in charge of the operation, getting the fire trucks. They sent fire trucks and ambulances. I don't know how many they sent to Nicaragua. This guy's in Nicaragua now. I said, why don't you give him a call in about a week? So sure enough, I call him about a week. And this guy, you would have thought he was my old neighbor that I hadn't seen for years. I mean, just the friendliest, most down-to-earth guy you'd ever want to meet. He was kind of my mentor through the whole thing, how to go through the red tape with the Denton Program. And we're talking. He said, celebrating his 30th year with the fire service. So I said, are you full-time or a volunteer, Brad? Just out of curiosity. He says, I'm a volunteer. So, well, what do you do for your day job, just out of curiosity? So I'm a retired pediatric surgeon. He says, my wife's a retired doctor, too. He says, we live in a $50,000 house because that's just how I prefer to spend my money. I think this guy basically pays for most of them for him. I thought, oh, my gosh, talk about a heck of a human being. That's just been one of the blessings going through this, meeting people like that. I don't know who I've talked to. I've talked to so many people, but he's the number one on the list. I went to actually try to find a fire truck. I didn't know what I was doing with that. I remember I was driving south of Youngstown, and there was a fire truck sitting at this fire station, Poland, Ohio. It was a Western Reserve Joint Fire District. We're getting rid of this fire truck if you want to bid on it. I called him about that. I wrote this nice letter. I said, look, how about you donate it to us? I said, tell you what, you get publicity from all over the world there. You put a sign that said you guys donated it. It didn't work out, but I wrote this nice letter, and I used that kind of as a pattern. I sent fire truck dealers that I'd looked at. If you look at fire truck manufacturers, it says recent deliveries, departments that got a new fire truck. I was emailing that letter, I says, to all the departments got a new one. I say, hey, congratulations on your new Pierce, your new Seagrave, your new whatever. What are you going to do with your old one? How about donating that? That didn't get me very far. Well, let's see. If you fast forward to this past April, at the church I go to, Beechwold Christian Church, we have a monthly men's group there. Matter of fact, I think that's where I really got to know you at.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I just happened to be sitting next to Pastor Darren Kleeman at the time, and at the end of the meeting, he says, well, anybody got any prayer requests? He goes all the way around the table. As the usual, pray for my Auntie Em having her gallbladder out, whatever. Pray that I get a better job, blah, blah, blah. He gets to me. I'm the last one. Any prayer requests, Jim? I'm like, okay, am I going to say this or not,
Yeah.
I says, yeah, I do. I says, can you pray I get a fire truck? And he gave me would you like to sit the crack pipe down look? I would describe it. Not that that's, I don't know what he was thinking, but it was definitely kind of through him, He said, I've never had a request for a fire truck before. I said, well, yeah, it's for real. I told him a little about it. A month later, I brought the fire truck to the next meeting, and we prayed over it, and we did a Facebook video call with my buddy in Belize, had him live with us. That made that totally cool. The Denton program is a humanitarian aid program that flies non-governmental humanitarian aid to different countries on a space-available basis on a U.S. Air Force aircraft. It's a little bit more involved than just calling a cab, but I don't know what all goes on behind the scene, but it took about 6 months. In a nutshell, that truck arrived in Belize City Airport on, we took it over to the air base, the Wright-Patterson, on the 1st. It arrived in Belize City on the 8th. And And wouldn't you know it, it had to make the last leg of its journey on a barge. It arrived at 6:30 a.m. on the island this morning.
Nice.
Just time for our interview.
Oh, absolutely. And it was amazing seeing it on there. And if you look at the banner for this episode, you'll see a picture of the fire truck on the dock. I was thinking whoever made that fire truck probably never envisioned it making it to Belize.
I don't think so. I kind of doubt that. The department that owned it before, Concord Township, was on the south side of the Scioto River, just north of the Columbus Zoo. They were the original owners. I got it from a truck dealer who basically let me have it for, let's just say, a really, really good price. After Pastor Darren prayed for it, I found it on eBay and talked the guy into a really good price. This guy's father had, when he was a kid, worked at a black powder factory in British Columbia, which is what Belize was known as prior to its independence from Great Britain in 1981. But I called that department, and they were real happy to see this go stay in the fire service instead of just being a parade piece or being scrapped or anything. They gave me some hose and some nozzles and all that, and they gave me a kind of a quick lesson in pump operations, and they've been real good to me as well. A lot of people have been really good. Met a lot of good people through the operation there.
What's amazing, from what I've been learning about the story, you started this in 2013.
No, I met Miguel in 2013. It was probably about mid-2016 where we actually, we stayed in touch. It's when he asked me if I get a model, and I replied, I'd like to get you a real one. I'd say probably May, June 2016, somewhere along there.
So it was one where you started the connection in 2013, but then in 2016,
right,
when you started feeling that calling that you had.
Right. That's when the wheels started turning, and today's when the total fulfillment of it took place about 6:30 this morning.
And that's amazing is like you never know the people that you meet when something will work out like a connection like that. You'll be able to help provide them something.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah, you never know. You throw a stone in a pond, you never know where those ripples are going.
I love where you said that you never gave up after talking to all of these different people. You got a lot of no's. Like I'm reminded of Dr. Seuss, who, if I remember the quote right, he went to 26 publishers and they all turned him down. I believe it was the 27th publisher that actually published Dr. Seuss. Life will give us lots and lots of no's, but it's when we keep at it and don't give up when things can happen. Back in, I think, August, I got to go with you on a pizza patrol. Tell Jim you want to go on a pizza patrol. You just go to all the fun pizza places, try them out. I went on my first one with them. On that, riding around in a fire truck, which that's an experience.
Pizza patrol and riding in a fire truck, it don't get much better than that.
It was amazing. The pizza place we went to, there were the bikers. They're all trying to be like, yeah, I'm a biker. Look at my nice bike. They're all looking at this fire truck like, whoa. We thought we were cool.
I know. I've never been the kind of person that, if I had a vehicle that's safe and reliable, I'm happy, A fire truck was a little bit different, though. I mean, I never realized if you want to impress a biker, get a fire truck.
Yes.
Besides those guys, I remember once this biker guy comes by, the house had a fire truck. I was, hey, man, that's a nice ride. That's your daily driver. Some biker complimenting me. I'm like, yes, thanks. Didn't expect that one.
Yeah. While we were at dinner, you told me a quote.
This is something I found totally true. When you go to school, you learn a lesson and then you take a test. In life, you get thrown a test and that's how you learn about it. I tell people, I think I missed school today. They taught you how to acquire a fire truck and have it shipped to another country.
Yeah.
I didn't have a clue when I started out. Talk about perfect timing. Just a few days ago, my buddy in Belize, he said that the Calgary Firefighters Association in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, they have a truck they wanted to donate to Corizal, which is far northern end of Belize, and they hadn't heard about the Denton program. So now, like I told you about Dr. Martin, he's kind of my mentor with the Denton program. The guy's actually a surgeon, but I say now he's kind of into cloning. He's cloned me. I'm going to be kind of their mentor on how to get the one on the Denton program for the Corizal.
Nice.
That's been kind of interesting experience.
I was reading up on the Denton program, and what was amazing is he was a prisoner of war, he was a general, and he was a senator, and this is his legacy, is this humanitarian aid.
Yeah, just Google legacy Jeremiah Denton. That's a story in and of itself. He's the one that started the program.
That inspires me where I want to do something to leave a legacy. I want to be known not as who I am, but what my life did to allow things like this. Like I want to have it where somebody can get fire trucks to countries that need it. I mean, things like that. Just I want to do something great, and this really has inspired me.
Theoretically, this didn't happen because I'm not qualified. That's what some people tell me. Theoretically, I should need a dual degree in international affairs and international logistics to pull a stunt like that.
Yeah.
Some people's mind, this doesn't count because I didn't have the right qualification. I guess one of my peeves in life, we live in an overly credential-based society.
Yeah.
You didn't learn it here at this university, it doesn't count. Well, guess what? I was relating to this story the other night, Jonathan. You remember talking about, I was watching on PBS about these obelisks in Egypt. Like, if anybody doesn't know, the Washington Monument, that's an obelisk. These big obelisks. They were trying to figure out how these people built those things. And this one guy had all his scientific calculations, and he's going to do it exactly like this. Another guy built this was glorified sand pit. He got his obelisk up there, pulled a stop, had it come down on the thing where it pivoted and put it up. The other guy said, well, no, that's not how they did it. Of course not. No, according to my calculations, the other guy that made the sand pit, his obelisk is standing up, and the guy that thinks he's so smart, he's standing there saying that's not how you do it.
It really shows qualifications aren't everything. It's what you do with it. Some of the best things have been done by some of the most unqualified people.
Yeah, that's for sure. And another lesson I learned in life is sometimes you got to be careful if you got a dream who you share it with, because people, they don't have a dream. They just, I can't imagine you doing that, or there's no way they're not going to listen to you, blah, blah, blah. I've heard that before.
And if you ever go to like a meeting, be careful what you bring up as your request or what you need help with, because just like this, you'll meet someone like Darren. And Darren, he's an amazing person. I remember he bought these school desks, and he ended up buying all these school desks because of an issue with the website.
Right, I remember that. It wasn't user-friendly. They thought they bid on one, they bid on a lot of them.
Yeah.
To that effect.
And then with that, it ended up, there are people who needed school desks. And so he was the perfect person to send these out. Look for those Darrens in your life and look for those people who you can connect with to get things done. What's amazing is somebody in Ohio was able to send things to another country. I mean, that's just incredible. On a military aircraft.
Yeah. You know what? Oh, my gosh. C-17 Globemaster, the cost of that aircraft is $202.3 million.
Wow.
I don't even want to know what it costs for fuel to get it down. I don't even want to know. It would probably scare me.
Oh, I bet.
It's space available basis. I was just kidding around the guy at the Denton program. I said, just out of curiosity, so was there any other cargo on there besides the Firetruck that you could tell me about without having to kill me? He just wrote me back, I'd have to kill you. And you know what I did notice is some of the pictures they sent, it does look like there's something chained down up in front of it, up in the nose of it. I mean, that doesn't mean they didn't, they flew straight back. They might have brought something back or who knows what. It's supposedly, a space available, and Denton come up with that idea. I mean, why they fly? They got to do something for training. You're flying around, if you got space available, you might as well put something for some good on there.
With all of this, it just shows, don't ever overlook what you can do for somebody or what you can get done.
Absolutely.
My ending question for you is, what's next in your future? I bet NASA could use a spaceship.
You're scaring me because I'm thinking, after something like this, geez, I guess I can kick back.
Oh, no.
I was driving home on the Christian radio station. I hear somebody say, come up with another one of those good lines. Says, remember, you didn't come this far just to come this far. I'm like, oh, geez, just when I thought I could kick back. So who knows? I didn't see this one coming. It's probably a good thing I didn't see it coming. If I saw it coming, I'd say, well, you see, I'm going to get a Firetruck to Belize. What classes do I need to take? Who do I need to tell?
Moses had a calling from God to free Israel from Egypt. He's like, I can't do this. It was the connections he had.
Yeah, he had some good connections for sure. I think I had a little bit of the same connections. That is one of my favorite words, providence, the benevolent guidance of God in the affairs of the universe. I think that had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Nothing just happened.
And it takes intentional effort, and it takes not giving up on a calling, a dream, because you never know where it will land. And not taking no on a dream, because it's those times when you want to give up that things will happen.
Right. It'd be easy to give up, but now I can't. It'll eat you up till you do it. You got to do it.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, eat you up in a good way.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me, Jonathan. This has been an interesting experience, and just to talk about providential.
Oh, yeah.
The thing comes to its fulfillment the day before Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely.
So they've got something to be thankful for. And there's people down there, how much that means to those people is amazing. The trucks they had before, by the time I got set up, these people had a fire. I think it was in March. He used a bucket brigade. I mean, God bless the spirit of the island that they do a bucket brigade while the fire department sets up, but they shouldn't have to use buckets anymore. I mean, this people are beyond thrilled about this thing.
Oh, I bet. Well, and again, it shows somebody from another country cared to make this work. And I want to thank you, everybody involved in this project. You, Darren, Beachwald, the firefighter,
Miguel,
Jeremiah Denton.
But Dr. Martin, Brad Martin, a lot of good people.
Absolutely.
people at the Denton program and the people with the 444th Airlift Wing in Wright Patterson that flew it down there. A lot of people get some kudos on it.
Oh, absolutely. And so many people came together. I am blessed to have been able to see this project along the way. I mean, it was fun joyriding in the Firetruck to get pizza.
Yeah, and we enjoyed having you as a special guest on Pizza Patrol.
And it's amazing to think the same Firetruck I drove is now in Caye Caulker. It even put out a fire on its way to the island while it was stationed.
Oh, it did. That's true. Yeah, we didn't mention. I had to sit in Belize City for a couple of weeks. They had to retrofit some hose couplings and things. I guess it got to go to a working fire there while I was in Belize City. So it's already seen some action there.
I wanted Jim to come on the show as I am just amazed at how he never gave up on a calling. He aspired to get a Firetruck to Caye Caulker, and he did. He never gave up on what might have seemed like an impossible task. The people of the island will be able to safely have their fires put out. What is something that you have wanted to do? Where are you right now with that project? Are you going to give up, or will you keep at it no matter how long it takes? Thank you for tuning in this week to hear an extraordinary interview with Jim York. This has been Be Great Today. I am Jonathan Bloom, or the little-known Frasley Sparks Band in World of Warcraft. Until next Sunday, be awesome. Don't give up on the Firetruck-sized dreams in your life. You never know when they will finally be able to fly to Belize.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.